welcome to my channel, and today's video is going to be a DIY all the time holographic phone case. To begin, you will need a clear rubber phone case for its flexibility since you are going to be adding a very thin layer of resin. Second, you will need these holographic strips to cut into tiny pieces, which is actually just nail art. You can buy plenty of rolls online. All you have to search for is holographic nail art foil. So after all that cutting, next is making your little resin concoction. So my package actually came with this little measuring cup you see here, a steering tool, resin, and a hardener. So it's going to be 2 parts resin and 1 part of the hardener. I only mention it just because I know there are some resins that are already pre-mixed and come ready to go. You just pour it directly into the mold. But this one we do have to mix the resin and the hardener together. So here I'm just adding the 2 parts of the resin and the 1 part of the hardener. So my measurements were just according to the dashes on my measuring cup. I don't know what they were quite exactly, but I just know the first 2 dashes was the resin and then the following dash was the hardener. After adding both the resin and the hardener to your measuring cup, you want to mix it slowly for about 2 minutes, and you do want to make sure it's fairly slowly because you don't want to create too many air bubbles. Then you'll let it sit for 5 minutes, and then those air bubbles that you have created will go away. After letting your resin sit out for 5 minutes, you're going to add that resin to the inside of your phone case. You just want to be sure to be cautious to make a very thin layer of the resin, because if it comes out too thick, then your phone isn't going to fit in your phone case. After adding a small amount throughout your phone case, go back and use your mixing tool to evenly spread the resin, trying to fill every nook and cranny of your phone case. After evenly spreading your resin, you want to begin adding your holographic pieces. I'm using long tweezers to do this process just because I didn't want to get my hands really dirty or sticky with the resin, but if you have a regular pair of tweezers, by all means use those. I just had these long ones lying around. Then just go to town adding your holographic pieces. You can make a pattern or you can place them at random. That's what I'm doing. I didn't really have a design or pattern in mind when I started, so I just kind of kept with the random placing of everything. If there's one thing I would have done differently that I want to make sure you do, is make sure you flatten your pieces before you actually add them to your resin. Just because since they were in a roll, they all kind of formed this curve as I was cutting them. And you have to go back and flatten each one, which created all these air bubbles, which was kind of annoying to go back and have to pop. So again, just make sure you flatten your pieces before actually starting the project. Here I am just going back and flattening the rest of those pieces. Once you are satisfied with the way it looks, let the resin sit for about 5 to 6 hours. But before doing so, because my holographic pieces did create air bubbles, and just in case yours do, I just want to show you what to go ahead and do. They aren't actual air bubbles, just little bubbles of resin on top of my pieces of the holographic foil. I went back with a toothpick and just kind of erased them and wiped them off of each holographic flake that I made. And then your phone case is finished. I just want to show you that with a thin layer, your phone case will still fit over your phone. And I also just want to add that depending on the color of your phone, it will vary on the color of your holographic flakes. As you can see, with a white background, you get these nice clear kind of pink holographic flakes, but with a black phone, you get these like cool green scale looking flakes, which kind of makes me go back and instead of using these triangle and diamond figures, go back and use some kind of scale shapes to create this mermaid tail looking phone case. I don't know, just throwing out ideas. Well, thank you for watching everybody, and please subscribe.